Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video, and I'm feeling a little bit more human now. I've been a bit ill, so I've been putting off filming a bit more. So the thing I want to talk to you about today is a new Staccato pistol I picked up. So you may have well know, if you follow the channel a lot, I started with one of these C2s. It was an absolutely phenomenal pistol. This one is it's just superb. I haven't really managed to find much fault with it at all. This is the standard model. So this doesn't have all the T8 upgrade parts, but it was absolutely fantastic. This is the Perfect 11, which you've known in one of the recent videos. We got the correct grip on there. Seems to be just as good. This one does have all the steel parts. It had the incorrect grip, which I've had to fix because the supplier just hasn't responded to me at all about it yet. But there is a bit of a problem with this one with the trigger. So the trigger doesn't always want to work. So you'll pull it and then eventually, sometimes it will fire on the first one, other times it won't. And it's all to do with this being loose. But should be an easy fix. I just got to get round to it. So I decided to pick up another model. Now they do many models. And this one is probably the smallest one that they do. So this is done in collaboration with SAVIA. Now SAVIA are known for, their high kappa parts. They do the MWS rifle, which takes high kappa mags. They do this in two versions. So you can get this in a normal version, like you can get this one. I bought this from JK Army because it was the only place that had them like on show on their website. So this is the CS. You can get the C2 very much like this, where it doesn't have any steel parts, and it's like a normal cast frame slide, just pretty much like this in a smaller version. It's about $150. But then I saw a different option, which was this one. So this one was a little bit more. So this was about $230, $240. So almost, $80, $90 more. But this was kind of described as like a bit of a deluxe model. It's got a CNC slide. So normally I would have been fine just ordering the bog standard model. That one's been absolutely fine. But I was curious, what are we getting extra for our money? Is the slide, can you really tell? And here it is. So this is the Staccato 2011 CS. So you'll see it here. So I believe the frame is still cast. It's got a nice grip on it, much like the one that I've put on the Perfect 11. But supposedly this has a CNC slide, so we're going to get looking at that today. It also come with a really nice looking barrel, which I like the look of. So I decided to pick this one up instead. Again, this has been done in collaboration with SAVIA, so there are some differences. With the Army mags, you can see the filler is at the bottom, and on this one, it's on the back. So you do have Staccato markings throughout, but the valve is on the back here. Now I have had a bit of dealings with SAVIA before. You may have known we built the SAVIA, I can't remember the name of it. I think it might just be called PCC. I'm not too sure. But we built one for Jack where we Cerakoted it. But one thing I will say is usually I've found that the SAVIA mags, I don't know, are a little bit less receptive of gas, let's put it that way. So we get a magazine, obviously in the box with the gun. We get this stuff out of the way. You got your little certificates and stuff. It also comes with an RMR plate, and it comes with the screws, and it comes with a little tub of Loctite. Now, I won't be needing that in this video, but just in case you wanted to know, that's all included. It also has a little bit of a better box. It's got this two-part box. Usually the cardboard is a lot thinner, and they just open up from the front, and they've got foam inside. But yeah, there it is. So as well as the pistol, which we'll get to in just a moment, I also picked up a bunch of these magazines. Now these magazines are SAVIA magazines. As you see, OEM by SAVIA for EMG under the Staccato brand. And the reason I picked these up is because they look cool. Now these are CNC machine magazines as well. These weren't cheap. These are about $50 a pop. Now they are much smaller, but the reason I went with these, I like the fact that they've got, a sort of capped off front section so you can't see the rounds. Because on a real 2011 magazine, you don't obviously have a spring showing BBs at the front, so it was just a little bit more realistic. And these are ridiculously light. So I picked up 3 of these because I thought I'll run them in this So let me get these out here and then we'll get on with the overview of this pistol. So I bought them all in silver just because I thought they looked better in silver. SAVIA do a bunch of parts. They do these magazines like for Marui high cappers as well, but you can get them in all kinds of different lengths. So these are made specifically for this size of grip here on the CS. But you can get them in normal high capper size, you can get them in extendeds, you can get them in like 30 rounds, 40 rounds, I think even 50 rounds. They do a bunch of different magazines, but I just think, if we're looking at it, I just think these look much cooler. So, and again, all the valves are on the back. You'll see a difference in the valves here. So there's a difference in the outlet valve, and there's also a difference on the inlet valve. So we'll be able to see how good these things do. So in terms of size, this is the smallest model I think that they do under the Staccato brand through EMG. It's not mounds smaller than the C2, but it is smaller. So you can see a little bit less on the length there. And if we line these up, if I can do it properly, there's a little bit shorter on the grip. So what that means is, this is a crude analogy, so don't, crucify me too much on this, but it's almost like, when you have like a Glock 17 and a Glock 19, what I'm trying to say is like the bigger mags will go in the smaller pistol, like you see there, they'll just stick out, but you can't put the smaller mags into the bigger pistol because they're not long enough to reach. And this is the same with the bigger models as well. This is just like a normal 5.1 style size of grip. So the bigger mags, again, will go in the C2, and they will also go in the CS. They just stick out a little bit. So I've got the long one. I've got the C2, which was where I started, and this thing is phenomenal. The trigger on this, I think I just got really lucky with it, is one of the best triggers I've ever found on a pistol. I'm just trying to remember which mag's which. There we go. So yeah, this is the smaller one. So this is the more expensive one. It apparently does have a CNC slide. We're going to break it open in just a moment. What I will say is sometimes on these replicas, so like on the Perfect 11, you can see that, pretty good. On my C2, it's very prominent. It's very easy to see. Same with the markings this side. On the CS, it's not quite as pronounced. Maybe they haven't gone deep enough, or maybe it's just, it almost looks like this has been sandblasted before it's been finished, because it's got like a very matte finish to it, so it is just a little bit hard to see. Now, to the eye, that one sticks out much better. I much prefer that marking compared to this one. We flip it over and we have the same on the other side, so it's there, it's just not very deep. So what that means is it's not casting as much of a shadow as the markings on here. But we do have Staccato CS with the star. We've got a CS24 and then like a serial number. We've got the American flag there. We flip it up, we've got Staccato CS. I think does that say V3? I'm just struggling. V3, Florence, Texas, USA. We've also got markings on the screws here. So they've got Staccato screws. You've also got it on the screw here. And of course on the opposite sides. Nice little details like that, I think, just really do finish the pistol off. And you can see a difference here. So maybe this cap on the top here, it almost sounds like it's plastic. It's got a very rough texture. So this is very smooth, and you can see the material difference here. So this is either, it feels like plastic, but it's probably not. It feels like you can definitely see that this is like, it's either plastic or cast, and then this looks much smoother. So the cuts on the slide look much nicer. When we compare the two, they must finish these, like give them a vapor blast or something like that, or to get rid of the machining marks. But yeah, let's have a look first. Let's test the thumb safeties. Yeah, it's okay. Probably about the same as that, to be honest. Maybe the C2 is a little bit better. The Perfect 11, not much of a click going up, but you get a prominent click going down. It just feels a little bit rougher. So yeah, it's not bad. You've obviously got a much shinier finish on this, and you can also see some casting defects on these parts. Again, a very shiny finish. Let's get the magnet out. Let's see what's going on. So that is like cast aluminium of some kind. All aluminium. But we do have a steel hammer, which is important. What I also noticed, which is a very nice little detail, is you'll see on the back of these pistols most of the time they have like a screw that goes into the blowback unit. And on the SAVIA CS, we've actually got like a fake firing pin, which kind of makes it look a little bit more realistic. It's a very nice little touch. Slide. Lovely and smooth. At least it feels it straight off the bat. C2. Yeah, you can just feel a little bit more noise. That might sound weird coming through on camera, but there's a little bit more noise there. This one seems a little bit more smooth. The barrel as well on the CS is fixed into position. It's not moving at all. So it's a non-dropping barrel. Can't remember if that's the case on the... So yeah, it's just a little bit looser, but same thing. Let's pop the slide off here. We basically line this up on the slide. We can pop this through like that. We can let the slide forward, and then we can test a couple of these parts. They are in fact steel. There's a lot of magnetic parts going on in there. Is the valve knocker steel? Yes, it is. So all the important parts in the hammer mech are steel. Just your grip safeties and stuff. This part, compared to the rest of the pistol, looks really cheap. I actually prefer the sort of matte look and much cleaner look of these army ones than the one on the SAVIA. There's that sort of, those imperfections there really do make it look a little bit rough. But let's have a look at the slide. So we'll pull the guide rod out. Comes out really easy. Let's pull the barrel section out here. We have a bright red. Is it red or orange? It's like a reddy orange. Tiny little barrel. The barrel does look plated. I don't think it's stainless. It could be, don't get me wrong. It's just got that sort of plated look to it. Let's see if we can chip a little bit off. Yeah, I don't think that's stainless. It feels really soft with just putting a blade on the edge there. I can actually chip the barrel off. So maybe it is like stainless, or maybe it's plated. So you can see the hot rubber there. Large patch. It does seem like it's kinked off to one side. Let's turn this off here. So it does seem, sorry if you hear Loki there, he's just begging at the door. So it does seem a little bit off to one side, a little bit. That just could be the bend in the arm here. So we'll put the hot back where it was. We can definitely see some evidence of this being machined, because you can see the machining marks on the inside of the slide there. This actually feels really, really nice. Blowback unit, I don't expect any steel parts in it. It's all aluminium, and with some steel screws, of course. So yeah, very, very clean looking, very clean. I've actually got like a little notched nozzle there. I don't know if you can see that. It's like notched on both sides. Yeah, so let's put this back together. The barrel is cast. Yeah, it's definitely cast. It's very rough looking compared to the rest of the pistol. I mean, they've got to make it to a price. I just think that if, you know, if the pistol was a little bit extra and I could have got nicer grip safeties and a nicer fit, like maybe like a machined barrel, or you know, just a nicer finish on the barrel, I would have happily paid it. But not saying there's anything wrong with it. You can just see where, you know, money's been saved compared to the slide. The slide is very, very nice. So let's put this back on here. Let's line all this back up if we can. Make sure the barrel's seated properly. There we go, line this up. Now, do we have gas in this mag? So I'm just going to test the one off the C2. So this is just an army mag. It's not even the up-rated ones with the T8 bits, but to be honest with you, I think the T8 ones are just a different coloured router. I'll have to confirm that by taking them apart, see if they're any different. So this is with the Army C2 mag. That feels really, really good actually. See that's maybe, I don't know, it's very weird. I'd say it's probably got the same amount of blowback weight to it than the C2 has. Maybe it's a little bit denser, I'm not really too sure. So I'm going to try the mag that came with it. We're going to gas this up. Like I say, I've had run-ins with the SAVIA mags before, and even though they're nicely made, I always find that I struggle to get gas into them. So let me prep a speed loader. I'm not going to use the Vanguard for this right now. I have managed to get a bunch of ammo so we can test some guns again. So I'm just going to load this up here. We're using 2.5s as normal. It's what I use a lot of now. Going to obviously HC2 and doing CQB more than being outdoors. Just the weight that you have to use. So it's always in the speed loader. Is that a full mag? That is indeed a full mag, a little bit too full. Let's take one out. Still a bit too full. Let's take another one. See how many this thing holds. I don't think it's going to be many. Right, that can move freely. Always make sure your magazines can move freely like that so you don't damage your nozzle. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20... 21, 22 round magazine. We're going to gas one of these up as well, one of these nice mags. That one leaks. That one leaks. And that one leaks. They all leak. Not what you'd expect for magazines that are quite expensive. It could just be they need a bit of greasing and lubing, so see if we can count how many we put in there. 1, 2, 3. God, why can't I load it? There we go. We have no choice but to load this mag from the top because we don't have a channel here. So you'd think it would be. There we go. It is jamming up. We'll try that for now. So, mag that it came with, 0.25 gram BBs. The hop dial was about halfway. We're set to 0.25s. Here we go. 0.851. Not bad considering this pistol has an inner barrel length of about this much. So that's really not too bad at all. 0.828, the trigger's actually really nice. 0.785, 0.735, 0.703, 0.695, we're really dying off now. 0.636, 0.57, 0.467, and no shot on the 10th. And this is what I'm telling you about SAVIA mags. They're very, very problematic with gas fill, and everybody that I know that has also used SAVIA mags have had the same issue. So what I might do if these become a bit of an issue is I will probably take the base plates off here, remove this, and probably put in a different valve because yeah, we'll try this mag anyway. This has also been gassed. Now this is considerably lighter than this one. We'll weigh them in a moment. Try this one now. So we'll reset the chrono. 0.25s, 0.58. There we go, 0.82. This the blowback on this mag seems a lot stronger. They have got different outlet valves, so 0.809, I'm just going to call these out for you now. 0.789, 0.75, we're dying off. 0.719, 0.715, 0.692, 0.699, 0.659, 0.528, and the last one was 0.3. So with these mags, we're really not getting through the rounds. Now, just to prove my point with you, I'm going to show you what I mean now. So this is just an army magazine. I'm going to gas it up. All the same. Bit of a valve got stuck there, I'm not sure what happened there. So we're going to take this mag, we're going to load it. Much easier to load. Same pistol, different magazine. Now, I'll do a quick chrono first, then I'm just going to empty the mag. So 0.25s we're set to. 0.732, 0.701, 0.701, 0.706, 0.703, 0.703. Super consistent. A little bit lower on the power because the valves are probably putting out a little bit less gas compared to the uprated SAVIA ones, but a lot more consistent on the power. That was like plus or minus 0.003 joules then between those 3 or 4 shots. And now I'm just going to get rid of the mag. So we did fire all rounds off. It didn't lock back for some reason. I'm not sure why. Oh, it did. It was just probably maybe shooting it a bit too quick. We can also use bigger army mags, like I say. Oh, that one's got no gas in it, but yeah, the issue is with SAVIA magazines. So these valves that were leaking were a bit stiff. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and get rid of the BBs out of this mag. I'm not sure what it is with SAVIA. Maybe it's their inlet valves, which aren't very good. This is the mag that come with the gun. Yep, we got about that far through. Right, so got one in the chamber. We are empty, but oh no, we're not. But we didn't lock back. So that mag is empty now. The reason why I've emptied this mag is because I want to show you the difference in weight. So, mag that came with it, which is a cast magazine, 304 grams. It's quite a heavy magazine. Don't know if you can see that. Let me maneuver that so you can see. There we go. Let me zero that out again. 305 grams. This is their CNC magazine. 169. So almost half the weight. These are ridiculously light. But just like with every other SAVIA magazine that I've come across, and that SAVIA PCC that I built, which was the MWS that took high kappa mags that I did for Jack. Jack obviously had that. He sold it. Someone else I know bought it, and they're having massive problems with the magazines. And I was saying to him the other day, I was like, I'm pretty sure when we tested it brand new, the magazines just weren't great, and this is what I'm getting at. So the magazines that he has for his, they're the slightly bigger magazines, so they're about this long. It gives you a lot more space to drill and tap it, so maybe put a Marui valve in and you could just leave this one redundant. It's something to do with the valves. They just don't really accept gas, and I don't experience this at all with the Army magazines. The Army magazines have always been fine. But I do want to get these to work because not only do they look fantastic, they're super expensive and I've paid for them. So let me just try and squirt a bit more gas in this one that was okay. So you see, it's just, you don't hear the gas flowing into the magazine. So this is the one that was leaking. It is still leaking a little bit. We'll try shoot around through it, see if it fixes it. Still leaking. Just ever so slightly. You might not be able to hear it. But if I put it up to my ear, I can still hear it. We'll try and... Yeah, it's leaking. See, this one sounded like it took a lot more gas. So we can only hope but dream. It is a shame about the SAVIA mags because they make really lightweight, really good looking magazines. They're just, you have to have the speed load in a very, very perfect position for that to work. It's just a shame they don't really take gas all that well. Right, we'll see how many rounds we can get out of this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. See, that one worked absolutely fine, but when we were filling it, we could hear the gas going in. So maybe SAVIA cheap out. Excuse me. Maybe SAVIA cheap out on the inlet valves. I'm not too sure. Try and get rid of the rest of the BBs in this mag. Just about. Apologies, I had to pause the video while I had a coughing fit because I'm still a little bit ill, but there you go. The EMG Staccato CS. I suppose you could call this the Deluxe edition. This is by SAVIA. They have cheaper options of this available. What's also interesting is the cheaper options that they have available, they do in multiple colours. So you can get it in black, you can get it in like bright blue, you can get it in pink. You can also get it, which was the original model I was going to buy, which was silver frame and slide with a grey grip. So you can get the cheaper version, which will be like a bog standard army one, but this pistol has been flawless. Yet to find an issue with this thing. It's almost criminal how good that pistol is for how little it cost me. And then you've got the Deluxe version, which has a CNC slide, which, to be honest with you, you might not get anything else from it. You don't need it. It's just very nice to have. You can feel it in the hands when you're touching the slide and you're manipulating it, that it's got a bit better quality compared to the cast. The cast slides now, on my C2, it's got this weird grey effect. I don't know if it will come across on camera. A lot of these that I've seen are black on black, but this one for some reason has like a grey finish, and to be honest, I kind of really like it. It looks like it's been finished afterwards. It just makes it, to me, it makes it look a little bit more realistic. It's that weird off material colour where the slide and the frame might be made out of two different materials, so I do like that finish. But this, however, is phenomenal. Now, what I will say is there are a couple of places in this grip, and you might be able to see this. Can you see where the plastic's sticking up? I think what you'd have to do, which is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go in with a pair of snips like this and just trim off all the high bits, because it might sound daft, but when you're manipulating the pistol, obviously this one is nowhere. This one's actually really nice. There's a couple of like little sharp bits that I feel every now and again. I'm going to have to come in and just trim them. It does sound, when you're cutting it does sound like glass fibre. I'm not sure if that's true or not. This one, however, on my Perfect 11, which I bought separately, you probably can't see this on camera, but it's like there's two strips just here that stick out much further than the rest of the grip, and when you're holding it, I mean, if you had grip like gloves on, you'd be fine. It's just every now and again you'll catch it ever so funny. It's like when you've got a splinter in your hand and it hasn't quite got in your hand yet, and it might be in like your glove, or you've got a splinter in your sock, and every now and again it catches you. That's kind of what it feels like. So I just need to, what I'll probably do is just go around this with a bit of like a file or a bit of emery cloth or something, and just smooth it out, just taking the peaks off those spiky bits. So, but this one feels much better. So would I recommend this pistol? Sure. I mean, it's got good power out of it. 0.85 joules I think was the highest we had for such a small barrel. It's kind of pre-upgraded by SAVIA. You've got some steel parts in there. You've got a CNC aluminium slide. You've got a nice hop and barrel in there compared to the standard ones. Most people are going to switch that out anyway. But yeah, I really do like it. You'll have to contend with yourself whether it's worth the extra $80, $90 to have those differences. Otherwise, I'd probably just say go for the cheaper models, because it does look exactly the same. It's just not a CNC aluminium slide. So magazines, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to strip these all apart and give them a clean and a lube, because some of the valves, I can't remember which one it was now, are slightly leaking, but they do look fantastic. I think having something that's half the weight is a godsend, even in such a small pistol like this, and they just look the part. They do look really, really nice. I just wish they'd perform as good. Now, if you've got armies like this, like I have, and you've got a bunch of these magazines and you don't mind them sticking out the bottom, honestly, I'd just pick up the pistol and ignore the mags and just run it on army mags, because this thing rocks on army mags. It really is a really nice feeling pistol. So there you have it. There's all my 2 cents on the subject. As with all things now, I will go away and play with this as much as I possibly can, as what I've done with all the replicas, which is why some of the reviews that you've seen, like the VFC AK, I've took my time with it. I'm just having to play with it every now and again, and then I'm going to come back and tell you my thoughts. You know, spoiler alert, the VFC AK is actually doing really, really well, which the VFC community is going to contend with the fact that I've said that, but might even be better than the Marui AKs. We'll get to that at a later date. But yeah, there's the SAVIA Staccato CS 2011, the deluxe edition with the CNC slide. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope I haven't waffled too much. I know people have started to moan about me online about that, but it's just the way I do my videos. Like it, hate it, you know, watch me, don't watch me. It really doesn't bother me all that much. For those of you that do stick around, you know where the link is in the description for the Jagerson Discord. You can get involved with the community. And as always, from me and Bench, we'll be seeing you in the next one.